Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming by the Bellisario Sonic YouTube channel. I'm coming to you from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. We're talking about music, records, doing record reviews, interviews, and more. We're keeping great music alive together. One review at a time, one share at a time by you guys out there. I have a unique video today that I'm going to be doing because I'm going to be comparing three different versions of one of my favorite jazz albums. And I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. Now, A Love Supreme, which is what I'm going to be talking about today, the great John Coltrane album, originally released in 1965, is a fantastic album, and a lot of people talk about it. It gets a lot of accolades, but how many people really dig into the album? I'm going to talk just a little bit about this album, where it kind of falls into Coltrane's catalog, but we're going to listen to three different versions today. I bought an SACD, stereo SACD, single layer SACD, about 6 months ago at least, and it's been sitting here. I have not even listened to this yet. So I wanted to compare it to my Analog Productions Verve Acoustic Sound Series record, mastered by Ryan K. Smith. This is a 2002 SACD, which I believe is a Van Gelder master. It's not the one done by Kevin Gray. That's the newer release that was released also as a single layer and a one of those dual discs, hybrid discs. So that's mastered by Kevin Gray. That's a completely different SACD. This is an earlier one, 2002 version. So just be aware of that. I'm going to be comparing this to the Verve Acoustic Sound Series, and also a brand new record that I picked up, which is the Complete Masters. And this is a universal, a UME release, impulse release, but this is kind of cool. I bought this because it's kind of one of those albums that completists want to get for this album, that are really into this album. And this is definitely one of those albums that you can just spend hours listening to it over and over again, and it gives you years of enjoyment. This is a fantastic book I do recommend getting, by Ashley Kahn. And this is the complete story of the record. It's well worth getting. You can pick this book up online used for, $5, $6, $7. So I do recommend this if you're into this album. But this album is pretty cool because it's a real pivotal album for Coltrane. This is really where he's been clean for several years. He took a decisive turn in 1957 when he got clean. He had a spiritual awakening. This album here comes in recorded in 1964, and the original release was taken from one session recorded on December 9th of 1964. Of course, it's released in 65. There was also a second session done on the 10th, and that session here is on the third disc of this package here. So I'm going to be comparing, though. What I'm going to do is take the original stereo LP of this Complete Masters. I'm going to compare it to the Verve Acoustic Sounds series, Verve series, and I'm going to compare it to the SACD. We're going to listen to it together here on this video, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, which one sounds the best. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to play a little bit from that December 10th session that's on the third LP of this. And again, this 3 LP set I just picked up, and it does come with a really nice booklet that I'm going to flip through when I get to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by putting this on the turntable, the Verve Acoustic Sounds version. We're going to start listening to that, and then I'm going to roll the SACD, and I'm going to bring the SACD up, and we're going to go back and forth, and I'm going to compare those two first. Okay, so I'm going to compare the SACD 2002 version to the Verve Acoustic Sounds LP. I'll give you my assessment there. Then I'm going to put on the complete album from the Complete Masters. I'm going to put on the original album, and I'm going to tell you how it sounds compared to this and to this, okay? And I'll give you my assessment on what I think sounds the best, the differences between the sounds, because I'm sure they're going to sound different. And then I'll close out by playing that third LP, which is that second session that was taken from the day after. So I think it's going to be a really cool video for those of you that are into this album that may not own it yet. Maybe this will give you an idea out of these three. Again, there are many different releases. You have the UHQR release that I'm sure sounds fantastic. I can only invest in so many different copies, okay, of this album. And I'm not about to go out and spend $150 on a UHQR so that I compare these. But I'll compare with what I have here. And I think this is kind of a good cross section here. 3 different versions that I can give you my feedback on. Now, when you talk about this album, there's only 5 albums that come after this one before Coltrane's death in 1967 from cancer. And you have the same lineup on the 3 previous Impulse albums. So that Coltrane Johnny Hartman album that comes out in 63, which is a fantastic record, one of the best vocal records of all time, that also has this lineup on it, which is pianist McCoy Tyner, bassist Jimmy Garrison, and drummer Elvin Jones. Then you also get the same lineup on Live at Birdland and Crescent, which are both 64 albums. And you find Tyner and Jones on several different Atlantic albums, like My Favorite Things, Coltrane Plays the Blues, and Coltrane Sound, which are 62, 62, and 64 releases, but all 3 were recorded in October of 1960 for those Atlantic releases. Now, 1961, Coltrane takes that turn towards the avant-garde, and A Love Supreme really secures his unique place in jazz as being an innovator of jazz improvisation. And this he considers to be a thanksgiving to God. This album here is completely different than anything he had ever done before. And although I think he would expand on this with those other albums that came after, this was unique because this was kind of Coltrane's baby. It was kind of where Coltrane said, I want to do everything. I want to pick the artwork for the cover. I'm going to write the hymn for the inside of the album jacket and how this is going to look. And so it was very personal for him. Coltrane viewed music not only as an artistic means of expression, but a spiritual means of expression. And he saw this music as a gift for the listener, and as well as being a uniting force for the people that listen to it. And so this is the only album that Coltrane releases with his own vocals on it. And the entire project, again, was designed down to the artwork and the liner notes and the hymn on the inside of the jacket were all his ideas. So very cool record. So let's go ahead and drop on this first LP, which is the Acoustic Sounds, Verve Acoustic Sounds series. And we're going to start listening to this, and we're going to roll the 2002 SACD, and we're going to compare them. And we're going to see the differences. So let's drop this on. And let's start listening to this fantastic album. This is the first Coltrane album I ever bought. I originally bought it on just regular CD. Going through my Fluence RT85 with the Ortofon Blue, through my Vincent Foe 701. So this is the Verve Acoustic Sound Series. Sounds really nice, warm, and drums sound nice. Nice nice fat bass. Start rolling the SACD, then I'm going to bring it up and put the SACD up here in a minute. Saxophone sounds nice and rich over here on the left side. So what I'm going to do is bring that turntable down. I'm bringing up the SACD now. Back to the record. Wow. So let's go back to the SACD. So there may be a little more clarity on the SACD on the high end and a little bit crisper sound, but it also loses something. Loses a little bit of warmth, I think. Let's bring that back, bring the record back up. The saxophone sounds different. Back on the SACD. Back to the record. So let me talk here just a minute about the differences, okay? The record breathes more, it has a little more depth to it and a little more warmth. And I think the instruments resonate, the drums sound a little bit more natural. I think that there's maybe a little more clarity. That piano sounds maybe a little bit more, I hear a little bit more of it on the SACD. The saxophone sounds warmer on the record. I like the sound of the record better than the SACD. So we are back on the record right now. Let's go back to the SACD. just sounds thinner. Maybe a little more crisper or even clearer, but it doesn't sound necessarily better. I don't think there's as much warmth and depth with this SACD. And the bass is not as fat, although it seems like it's more focused. It doesn't sound as fat or warm. So let's bring it back down. Let's bring the record back up. Let's listen to this here, this bass part here. The piano itself may sound, the piano might sound a little bit muffled sounding on the record compared to the SACD, but everything else sounds better on the record. So we're on the record right now. I'm going to bring the SACD back up. We're going back with the SACD. So I think the piano cuts through a little bit better on this, but everything else sounds just thinner. So the drums, the cymbals, you can hear maybe a little more detail, but it just sounds like there's not as much depth there. And the same thing with the saxophone. You may hear a little more clarity, but it just doesn't have that depth, that warmth. It doesn't sound as three-dimensional on the SACD as it does on the record. So we're on the SACD. Let's listen to it going into this. I'm trying to play them at the same level, so. Now, like this, you hear absolutely no noise. Now, the record, you hear just a little bit of the surface noise of the record. So this is pristine quiet. And then we go into this. I mean, this, you hear, I think maybe a little more detail here because it's so quiet. You have no surface noise whatsoever. Into those drums, you really hear some detail, but let me go back to the record. The bass just sounds fatter here on the record. And to me, this record sounds overall better than the SACD. I would prefer listening to it. Saxophone just sounds more natural to me. So yeah, let me bring this down, and I'm gonna put on the other record, okay? So my vote here, this Analog Productions, the Acoustic Sounds Verve record sounds better than that SACD. And the SACD, I think the piano in the mix or whatever it is, it sounds a little, you can hear it a little clearer. On the top end of the drums, you hear maybe a little bit more detail, but you lose depth and warmth on the SACD, and the John saxophone just sounds more like a real saxophone. I listen to a lot of jazz live. I mean, a lot. I go out to live jam sessions here in Birmingham all the time, so I have a chance to hear the saxophone right in front of me on the stage. And when you listen to the record, it just sounds more like a real saxophone, where on the SACD, there might be a little bit more clarity and everything, but there's lack of depth. That's all I can explain to it. It's not as warm on the SACD. So that's on my system. Again, I'm listening to this on my record on the RT85 Fluence with the Ortofon Blue, going through a Vincent Faux 701 phono stage into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. So on your system, maybe it sounds a little different, obviously, but my vote is for the record against this SACD in this case. So let me go ahead. Let's go back over to the turntable cam. Let's pull this record off, and now we're going to go to the Complete Masters original album. And I'm going to put it on and listen to it, and then we'll bring up the SACD, and then we'll kind of compare those two and see where we are in the grand scheme of things here. But I like the way that this Acoustic Sounds version sounds. It's nice and warm with a lot of depth. Now we're going to go to this A Love Supreme Complete Masters, and we're going to listen to the same thing. We're going to compare it to that SACD the same way. And you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Now, this... this album I'm getting ready to put on is from the Masters, the Complete Masters, okay, UME. It's a little bit thinner of a record as well. You can already tell it's just not as nice of a pressing as that the Analog Productions one is, okay? So let's go ahead, back over to the turntable cam. Let's put this on and let's have a listen. And let me tell you what I think. You guys leave your comments. Let me know if you can hear the difference. And on this, I've not played this yet, and it looks like there might be a slight warp on this. So let's bring this up. I'm playing these at the same volume. So this is the gatefold Complete Masters. Not as nice of a jacket as the Analog Productions one, but you've got, again, 3 records in this. It does come with the sleeve here, and it comes with a nice booklet that I'll flip through here as we listen. Let me get kind of a gauge on how this one sounds compared to the Analog Productions one. So here's the booklet. This is a nice booklet, a lot of information. I'm going to go ahead and start rolling that SACD here so I can bring it up and compare it to this one. I believe this came out in 2016, this version. SACD now. I'll run this. Bring the record back. Back to SACD. Okay, so it's the same thing. I don't think that this record sounds as good as the Analog Productions one, but it's the same thing against the SACD. I hear a little bit more top-ending clarity, but that depth is gone. The drums, the resonance off of them, it doesn't sound the same. The warmth of the saxophone doesn't sound the same. Here's the record. It says original analog tapes were used for this one as well. Don't know if it's the same tape copy. Let's bring back SACD. Yeah. So it's thinner. The bass is not as fat. The drums resonance sounds better on the record. So yeah, my vote is for this record over the SACD. Now I think the Masters versus the Analog Productions, I think that the Analog Productions just got a little bit more richness to it. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit more depth than what this one has. This one doesn't sound bad. And then this one here is still my least favorite out of all of them. So if I'm gonna pull these out to listen to these, I just want to hear the album. I'm gonna pull out the Acoustic Sounds Verve series. I'm going to listen to it first. Then I would listen to this one. Then I would listen to that. Now, what makes this edition special is, again, you've got that 3 LP set. Second LP is going to be mono reference mixes, vocal overdubs, and alternate undubbed versions, things like that on the second LP. And then the third LP is that session on December 10th, the day after. So what I want to do, we're going to bring this down. I'm going to put that third LP on and close out the video with that, because that's something you can't, you don't get on the regular edition, and it's for kind of the completists. But is it something that you would want to invest in? Well, we're going to see here. I'm going to play it for you. And we're going to listen to the third LP. We'll just listen to some of it, side 5 going in. So this was the recording on December 10th. We're going to have a listen to that. And we'll close out the video. But my vote is for the Acoustic Sounds Verve series. And then this Complete Masters. And we're going to go ahead and take this off and put on and close out the video just listening to that third LP. Appreciate you guys joining me. Again, it just goes to show you that, all these are different. They all sound different. And the SACD in this case, now the Kevin Gray one, it may sound, it's going to sound different than this one. So don't take this to mean that You know, any SACD you get is not going to be as good because I don't have the most recent SACD. So keep that in mind. This is what I have, and so this is what I'm doing here. But let's go ahead and have a listen to, man, I tell you, cleaning these off. Clean these off, and you pick the thing up, and there's a speck on it. So let me clean this off again. And we'll close out the video here. Appreciate you guys joining me. This is kind of I don't do too many shootouts these days. This is one I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to check this video out. Leave your comments. Let me know what version you have, which ones you like the best. Again, they've got the UHQR series out, which I'm sure sounds fantastic. Acoustic Sounds, it's hard to beat them a lot of times. And they just do a great job at their pressings and their mastering process and everything. So, but I do this complete series, the regular record does sound pretty good. It's not way far off from the Acoustic Sounds. I just think it lacks a little bit of that warmth and depth and presence that you have on that on the Verve Acoustic Sounds. So, but let's have a listen to side 5 here, which is disc 3, which is the December 10th sessions, and let's close out listening to this. And again, if you're a completist, this is something you might want to invest in, is that complete masters series. The pressings aren't as good either. They're not as quiet as the Acoustic Sounds. So this is the December 10th session here. Actually, I hear a little bit of Appreciate you guys joining me. This is disc 3 off the Complete Masters we're closing out with. Similar sound quality to what the first record sounded like. And again, with that, the SACD just lacks warmth in this case. Just lacks depth and warmth. There's not as much resonance off the drums. If you want one copy, you want to spend $35-40, I recommend Analog Productions Verve series. Wonderful. If you want the extra takes and the December 10th session, I would pick this up in addition to it. And then you'll also get this cool booklet as well. I recommend getting this book, which has just got pictures and anything you want to know about this album and what's surrounding this album. This book has it. Interesting, because the saxophone is over here on this. it sounds like everything is kind of more to the right on this third disc. Now you got the right disc on there. Yeah, that's it. So what's different here, okay, on this December 10th here that we're listening to on the third LP of the Complete Masters, you've got the Coltrane Quartet has expanded to include a second tenor saxophone played by Archie Shepp and second bass played by his partner Art Davis, okay? So completely different experience here on this third LP. Yeah, so the record sounds very similar as far as the quality goes. The third LP, that December 10th session, sounds similar to what you hear on the original album on this Complete Masters. As far as if you're going to buy one copy and you're not going to go get the UHQR or spend $150, you want a normal copy. As far as new releases go, I think that this Acoustic Sounds Verve series sounds fantastic. So it's just got a little bit more depth, a little bit more richness, if you will. But this other one does not sound bad. So I prefer both of them over the 2002 SACD. I think that this just lacks warmth and depth. And the instruments, although you may hear a little more clarity on the piano and maybe on the high end of the cymbals, the saxophone sounds thinner, doesn't sound as fat, you don't have that warmth. So that is this 2002 SACD. So again, the Kevin Gray one is going to sound different. So I'd like to hear that one, but again, I can only afford to buy so many copies of this album. So there you have it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Got more reviews coming up for you guys. Happy listening, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining me.